Oh my god!
Hi, Mikey!
I'm gonna want to know what you two are talking about.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Mikey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? All the way over there, my neighbor.
I know. But I'm facing the wrong direction. I can't see.
I know. Well, I can see the back of your head here. I was reviewing old podcasts. You know, when I'm listening to somebody, I'm kind of like in person. I don't smile. You seem like,
But I am.
and I'm like, because my
What?
brain is no, I do that because I'm comprehending and I can't smile and think at the same. It's like I got this resting bitch face when it comes to crochet.
Is that what
Yeah.
that's called?
Yeah, I know. Daniel said we should do a contest for resting bitch faces and submit photos for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that could be fun. Submit
Yeah.
your photo to karen.crochetcrowd@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Actually, you know, we could probably do that here on the podcast where
That's what
we
I'm
have
thinking.
the bitch face of the week.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
do we need to call it that? That's so negative. That's so negative.
It's so true.
Why don't we just,
Oh.
the concentrating crocheter? Okay, that was bad.
Nobody's going to care about that. So we're kicking off this week. We're waiting for our guests to arrive, and we actually have a few announcements here on the Crochet Crowd. So if you've been watching us on Facebook today and also to the community posts on YouTube, we have what is called this download to donate. So anytime you're downloading anything on Yarn Inspirations on a pattern, a chunk of that goes towards Warm Up America to be able to put some slush funds into their pocket to keep that charity going. We're probably going to get a nasty hurricane season ahead. It's always thinking about ahead. And one of the things about charity that I find, Karen, and you can comment, is that we get this idea, but then we got to stitch the damn thing out and we're not ready. And yeah, people have a need like right now. So you have to work ahead, right?
Do you know what? You're absolutely right. You know, what's wrong with doing like throwing in a hat or gloves or a blanket or something for the hospitals, premium, like any of those places, all of those volunteers, they take things like we should be working ahead, especially with disaster type stuff. You're absolutely right. I never thought of it like that, Michael.
Because I know for one of the cruise stuff that we did first responders where the blankets ended up in the back of a police cruiser because you don't know if a child is being pulled out of domestic abuse or whatever, or a spouse is being pulled out. Like it's something there in the back of the cruiser. I think it's such a great idea, and that doesn't need to. We don't need a major celebration for that. It's just needed.
No. Well, one of our loose ends guests also did those trauma dolls, remember, as well.
That's right.
You know, like that would be kind of, like something that's meaningful to you and how you want to give back to the community. I think that's really great. Actually, that's a good idea. Sorry, I'm distracted by what's going on here. The sun is setting.
You're fine. It'll be gone soon. Well, it's here in Nova Scotia, so our summer solstice is actually coming up this week. The 21st. I love summer solstice. It's my favorite day of the year. All that long sunlight, doesn't get dark until about 10. I love it. So I really like that idea. So Yarn Inspirations, if you go onto their website, yarninspirations.com, download, you can click download on as many patterns as you want. Every time there's a download click, it puts more slush fun into there as well. I also want to call attention to our Journey level members on YouTube. We actually have a pattern that is gone out for I Like Crochet magazine that'll be in the publication in October. And so the Journey members are actually testing the blanket that I am designing in real time. And when I say real time, I'm on day number 3 of this bad boy. And so I'm writing the instructions. I don't even know how many people that I have that's emailing me. And you know what the funny thing is, Karen? I've had so many people email, but nobody's had a duplicate error. Like nobody's seen it. Yes, it scares me. Hell out of me. Really, I'm like, wow.
How many errors? But good on them for finding them.
It's just stupid little things of not a space between 4 double crochet. And so it's been really helpful. So if you're a Journey member that you're following that, once we have this already designed, it will come offline, and so it'll be seen in the magazine. And I will not get it back until May of 2026, Karen. It's going to be out of my hands. It's like Michael Jackson. She's out of my hands. You know that one? It's
I
out of
do,
my
but
hands.
that
Michael Jackson,
that's not the
the
melody,
Wall
though, my
album.
friend. That is
Oh,
far
what
from
is
that.
it then? What is it, Miss
I'm
Know-It-All?
not going to sing it because I don't know the exact melody. I just know that is no Michael
It's
Jackson.
out of my hand. So anyway, I won't get it back until May of next year. So the Journey members are currently testing that. And we are currently just working through that as soon as we have that all done. And I don't know what 404 on your inspirations
That means page not found. Maybe you just went and you crashed them.
Oh, way to go. So anyway, so if it's when it's not crashing, if you go on there, click as many patterns as you want because you are helping. It doesn't cost you any money. It's a free download and that as well. So we also have a new contribution for I Like Crochet magazine coming out in the beginning of July. They asked me my opinion whether I thought crochet was an artist form or whether it's just a hobby. So I have inserted my 2 cents into that, Karen.
This is the first I'm hearing this.
I know. Well, I don't tell you everything. So we need to talk. So anyway, so they've asked my opinion on that. So that's going to be the next article coming out. I'm going to be I am a regular contributor for that. My first pattern is actually going out September. So this blanket here is going out in October. And this blanket is killing me, Karen.
But it's gorgeous, Michael.
Well, you know, I have a problem with letting it flow. Like, so what I've done is that I've let the ball just come out, or sorry, the ogo just come out as is. And so as I am crocheting, it's changing color when it wants to.
You hate that.
Oh, I so do.
I'm very proud of you for just letting it flow.
But I did a
Raw
poll
dog
on
that baby. That's the name, right?
You know that's right. So you know what's so funny though is that I did a poll on our YouTube community because the YouTube community really for me is really the testing ground because these people are needing the videos. Not everybody does, but these people are really all in. And so I did a test of the entire community and I said, can you do it and not worry about color? Because I have a hard time doing that. And it just pains me when it changes color exactly where I don't want it to go. And I let it happen, Karen. And it's like, oh, and you know, I just have to crochet half around and then I don't see it again until it comes back around. I'm like, so anyway, so I know that people will be able to adjust their own to their own way that they crochet, right?
Yep. No, and they will.
Painful.
It'll be great.
I don't mind when it changes on the outside. So I never manipulated the system, but I have. Okay, Karen.
I was going to say you never manipulated
when the center hole.
Wait. I'm getting in there close.
Yeah. When the center hole looks misaligned of a round or rectangle or square blanket, I am screwed because my eyes just go right for the hole on crochet. So it just I'm like, I can't take my eyes off.
This is going to be a night, everyone. I'm so glad you're here joining us.
I made sure I started off with a fresh so that I had a really good center hole that is like a good solid color, because when it's changing just after the few rows, I literally go manic. And so maybe you at home can comment to that. Can you let the center of your project be misaligned? Because I almost manipulated it. I almost opened the second ball just to get it to finish. And I said, it's not true then if I manipulated that. But anyway, so it's kind of interesting. So there's a lot of repeating towards the end of this project. So there's a lot of thinking and manipulation at the beginning, but then you have a holiday at the end. So it's kind of like you're all in and then let's relax and kick back. So
something I might actually finish.
Yes. Yes. And Karen, you know how good I am. I created a spreadsheet today to calculate mathematical calculations for chain one spaces. Okay. Hang on. Tell me how good I am.
No.
Say it again.
I don't have to talk math.
You know what? I have always wondered, like, is there a mathematical calculation when there's a chain one space of the amount of stitches and how many, and if it's 59 stitches across, how many chain ones will there be? Exactly. And I've always had to do the damn thing and calculate it, like counting, but I literally came up with a spreadsheet today for double crochet and single crochet. You're welcome.
Oh, well, yay, you. I'm glad you did it.
That means I'm getting a strawberry shake after this.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Oh, good.
Yes,
McDonald's
yes.
is on the
Yeah,
menu.
it might be. It might be. It might be. So, yeah. So we have some fun stuff. We have. We're still waiting for our guests at this time. So we have a live stitch out going to be happening here on July 13th, and we have two options with lunch, a make and take, the yarn. I think this is with the Nova Scotia trip, and
On the 13th
of July. Yeah, the 12th is the beginning. It's the Sunday. The
Yeah.
13th. Yeah. So we have like the make and takes at the flower farm.
Okay.
Yeah, she's scheduled.
I'm looking at my calendar because I'm all messed up because of the 2 dates.
Yeah.
So the 13th
Okay. So we have the 13th.
Yes.
And so anyway, so we have like lunch, make and take at the flower farm, and a whole stitch out, and Tracy's rolling yarn shop. So she pulls into town with that trailer, and you basically lose your purse.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a good day.
But I don't know if we can have like a stitch out. Like we can't do it online with all of our friends.
No, we can't. But then we're going to Planters Ridge and Beausoleil wineries and doing a free stitch out for those that are local. So we are giving selling our well, actually those tickets are free if you're not doing the wine tasting. So Karen, bless her heart. She says, well, maybe some people will want to join the bus tour with the wine tour, with the walking tour. And so then they can sample the wines, or you can do it or you can just show up and just stitch out for free. So we have a free option and a wine tour option. Oh, please say that you said that to me, because I've been giving away tickets.
It's totally fine. My thing
Yes.
was that this is a public place, right? But it is still private. Like you can go and whatever.
Yes.
And should you
Yes.
choose to
Yes.
partake, you can on your own.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
kind of the deal.
Yes.
But oh my gosh, you're killing me there, Michael.
Yeah. And guess where Karen went today? Starts with the D.
I went to the Dollarama and I went for paper. I went for paper. And just like anyone that goes into any dollar store, I don't care where you're from, you go in for one thing and you leave with a cart full. Am I wrong?
I know. I can never leave there without a bag of chips and a pop. And followed by
I didn't buy the bag of chips or the pop, but
wow.
I
missed your big chocolate bar, Karen.
Yeah, I know. That's a thing.
I know you're not into that, but I like that chocolate.
I'm trying to turn off my notification sound because this is a cadet thing coming through right now, and not our guest. Something must have happened. I've been monitoring my phone here just because of seeing if she's trying to get a hold of us. But I'm very sad that you're not going to get an opportunity to meet her right unless she comes online. But it'll be all good. But what's up?
Yeah, she might come online. We'll just hang out, because what else are we going to do here, Karen?
Well, heck, we enjoy chatting and getting to know the community too. Do you want to know what I'm trying to get accomplished before I didn't turn it off? Before I go away next week?
Okay.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay. That was a very stressed yay.
Yeah,
I got my hat.
Oh.
I'm going to be protected. I'm going to be protected in the sun. I have to.
Well, you're going to the Pride Parade, I think, in Toronto, aren't you? Are you not?
I am. So I'm still making it's out of like, oh, that's bright.
What is it?
It's going to be like a vest cardi, so I can wear it, and it's cotton.
You're going to wear that in the heat?
Well, it's cotton. I'm just going to wear a tank top underneath it. It's Pride, after all.
Now, last time I went to Pride was at the very beginning of the 2000s. I think 2002, I think is the last time I was there. But oh my God, the people were falling like flies in the waiting for. It was so hot, and the parade was so delayed that there was long gaps, and people were just going down one after the other. So the ambulances are in the way. I'm like, this is a party, woo! But the garbage in the streets
I bought
after.
At the dollar store today.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just stuff for secret stuff. I don't want to get into all the things that I bought there because it's going to come out.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
No.
But I did get, those fans that go around your neck with like they're
Oh,
battery
you want to be
operated.
blowed. Yes.
Well, I figured it might come
You know what
in.
you know what I really like at Pride that they sell is the vendors that have like those they're little balls and they make up a chain, and then they put like things on them like little fishies or airplanes. They're really colorful. They're beads. They're really big beads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I love stuff like that. And you're gonna need a whistle because God forbid your neighbor is gonna value their eardrums and you get to blow all the whole parade away.
I'm going with my daughter and our friends from like our locals, our GKs.
Nice. Are you bringing a water gun?
I was thinking about it, but
Yeah,
I'm not.
you
I might
should.
just buy it in Toronto and not, put it in the plane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I actually went to a Pride water gun party once downtown or down on the lake shore of Toronto, and my God, we sucked. You know how much water we sucked, Karen? There was a water fountain that was part of this park. We sucked that bitch dry with all the good stuff. Oh my God. But this is like 2002 or something like that. They were charging $10 for a drink. I wasn't even making $10 an hour, and my partner at the time was sucking back these drinks like it was nothing, like $100 worth of drinks, and it was a small mini too.
My goodness.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of what you're up to.
Yeah. And I always try to make something that anywhere I go, I always try to make something specific for that event, which is why I use my flag colors and that I'll wear. So it's the same thing. Like you do the same thing. Whenever you do a new crochet cruise, you create something.
Oh, absolutely.
Although you did have a question, do you ever create for yourself? I would say you create things like that for yourself whenever you're going.
Oh, for sure. I like a little doll or something in the backpack. It's kind of ridiculous, but I like the conversational piece, and it gives people a smile. Because you just
I like the wearables, but only because it's like a one and done thing, and I can pull it out for later, put it in my tickle trunk, so to speak, and use it for something else later. Yeah, it is so good. I'm seeing everyone say hi to us. I just have to say hi, everyone. But anyway,
so we have that going on. Did you know that originally the Crochet Crowd channel was? You knew that it was a trucking channel. I've told that, but I was going to actually stay Pride focused when I actually started back in 2008. And I realized what a mistake that was, because all the original patterns that I did were all rainbow, and I had all of that, and I realized that I was isolating everybody else by staying within that sector of life. And I realized that crochet really knows no borders. It really doesn't know a culture like that, and it's really for everybody. And so I realized, just kind of watching the reactions of people, that if you can make crochet more inclusive, it was a lot better. And I think you learn as you go on this stuff, because nobody's really around to teach you this stuff.
Well, it's just a part of you. It is not all of you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's true with anything, right? I think that's true with anything.
Yeah.
But so absolutely have parts of it, but then you kind of go on and go on.
Yeah. Like thing. you just realize what's important in your life and what's not. And actually, it was my last partner before Daniel that I realized that I could be who I am without having to carry a flag or wear the colors. This is do you remember Canada, the 150th? Canada 150th?
I certainly do.
I know. Got these at the dollar store. Yeah, I know.
That was in 2017.
Actually, you remember when I got that? I bought everybody a hat when we did that exhibit that you just had your gastric done.
Oh,
when we did the
maple leaves.
The leaves, yes.
Yeah.
I know.
So that's right. But it was 2017. I know that only because that was the 150th.
Well, I would never remember something like that. So, yeah. So we're kind of working my way through. So, somebody was commenting about the blanket behind me. So, so I like Crochet Magazine. They have a magazine, obviously, that it's completely digital. The era of paper in magazines, stuff is kind of winding down. One of the things that we had a big talk with our publisher when we did our own book is that they said the cost of the paper is going to be the determining factor of whether your book is even going to be done. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It says, well, the cost of the book is really reliant on the paper itself. And so these were printed in Winnipeg, Canada, and Winnipeg, Manitoba. Canada. And anyway, so he says, you know, the quality of the paper and everything about a book determines the price. And so, Karen, they came up with the price of this book before even the manuscript was even done.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we had to stay within a certain amount of pages, and we really just wanted a lot of colors and a lot of different things. So this is the master here. It has all the signatures of all the models that were the families that were actually in the
nice
the photo shoots, because I was not part of any of that because it was during COVID.
Yeah.
So, you know, so that's why a lot of the photography is outside.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, you just couldn't photograph.
Better lighting anyway.
Yes, it's perfect.
Yes. Yeah. Better lighting anyway.
So the cover when I'm holding my blanket was actually in December on the beach. And thank God it was such a good day, because it was like I didn't require a coat, but it was like, because, you know, the weather changes around here like crazy.
Yeah, every 5 minutes or something else, right?
It certainly does. Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of, you know, you learn a lot. And I had somebody the other day when they were like, well, it would have been nice if you could share this and this and this to help me like push my journey online to do. And it's like, I came from 2008, before there's even groups on Facebook, before it's even a thing. Social media wasn't even a word at that time. And it's like, it's kind of funny how you really have to learn. And sometimes you got to learn those painful lessons of like the crap lessons, so that you don't make the same mistake twice, or in my case, 5 times. Yeah.
Well, it's true. It's true. I love that Walter says he has your book, but I also wanted to put up there that Dia said that she was trying to get her glasses.
Oh.
And her place said that they didn't have anything that fun. But it's a brand, though. It is a brand.
Now there is so we put out a message last week about our local group here at Karen for Wednesday nights that we meet at Michael's from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays in New Minas here. And so we had a whack of new people last night for the first time, including another male crocheter. Nice. So his name was Joe, so I nicknamed him Trader Joe, so I'll remember. And it's kind of interesting watching all these new people come in, because they're kind of timid in a way, when our group has been getting together for 7, can you imagine, 7 years?
I am in awe that you guys have been doing that for 7 years.
Yeah, but not everybody's been around for 7, but people come and go. Yeah. But I was just like really enamored, because I went to another thing and I felt like really on the outside of this circle. And I thought, you know what? We got to make a damn good effort that when you're walking into a Stitch social or a Stitch where they say come out, you actually got to talk to these people, or why bother them coming out? And the reason why I mentioned this, we had a woman by the name of Anne last night. You would have loved her. Yeah. She had the coolest glasses ever. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm like, you go, girl. Anyway, so her husband died like 3 years ago. And so she goes, I just sit at my house and I crochet. And she goes, I happen to be on Facebook, and that there's a local group to me that she had no idea. And so I'm hoping that we get to see her on a more frequent basis.
I hope you do.
Yeah, because you got to break that monotony of them being at home, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know how that is. The grass doesn't grow underneath your feet. Yeah.
No, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I love organizing these things for the crochet crowd. Thank you for that. I really love it. And then with the cadets, and there's always something to do for that. And then around the house. Okay, Daniel is not a happy word in my house at the moment with all of my gardening that I did.
Yeah, but that was your own fault. So
I know, but I blame him. I blame him because
I got enough drama in my life.
His looks so good, and he does such a great job. And then I look at my property, and it's still young, and it's whatever else, and I have to go out and I have to keep up with the Daniels.
Yeah. So S.L. Smith is saying, you know, it's like the crochet Church of the Crochet. You need designated greeters. And I just think maybe yes or no, but it doesn't take much. Like at this other thing that I went to, it did not take much for the neighbor just to talk to me and it was a wall. So I'd ask a question. It's a yes or no answer. There's no follow through, and I realize, okay, this is a dead end. But I think it's a relationship has to be two directions. Like you and I, if you did all the talking and I stood yes, no, there would not be a relationship because we don't talk. But, and I feel that with the stitch groups, you literally got to walk halfway or you're in trouble. Because we had that on the crochet cruise. I had a really nasty review. And I'm like, and I remember the person always sat in the corner. She always grabbed the table when there's other partially tables, got a fresh table, and nobody would sit with her. And I'm like, it was your responsibility also not to sit at that table and to mix in with other people, but she really wanted to sit there. That's not my fault.
But I think in a way, the whole greeter situation that they're saying, it's one thing to welcome and to say, hey, and we're so thrilled that you're here. It's another thing to continually make, you're not hosting them.
Yeah. Well, last night I was like, hey, Trader Joe, like, how long you been crocheting? So he's a COVID baby. So in the meaning that he's an older guy, but he decided to use his COVID time to learn to crochet. And this guy is the coolest thread coasters ever, Karen. I know. And there's a guy that would be sitting at home, probably with the TV on. And I'm so glad to see him come out and just be with other people that have the like-minded, because God forbid we Michaels, we enable the hell out of each other.
Did you see what Gordon just wrote?
Do Nova Scotia tour groups get to go to the groups? So what we've done, do we want to share that detail, Karen?
No.
Okay. Shut up, Gordon.
No, but we are opening up the flower, like you already said tonight, the flower farm, and so that people from our group.
we have offered an invite to the locals with some options, whether they want to have lunch with the bus tour people, or they want to just go to another place and just have a wine tour, or that same place and just come out and stitch with you. So we've already got some people already signed up for both of them so far. So you'll be meeting the people that are just really fun to hang out with, like really honestly, right?
Yes.
Honestly, but don't get Margaret to cut your yarn. She cuts off the wrong ends. So so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited for people to meet the people that are part of my life. Like, I'm not a social guy. I'm very introverted, as you know. So online, when it comes to yarn, I can talk up a storm, but in person, leave me the hell alone. And so these people are my Wednesday people, and it's nice to be able to share that with others. I am introverted. What are you talking about?
Well, you're an extroverted introvert. You and I are very similar that way. So we're both very introverted. Like we like our alone time. We like our space. We like, we need to recharge after said social entertaining. So, so we can be extroverted and be all out there and all of those things, but we are also just as comfortable.
Yeah. But if I feel awkward, I kind of disengage and I just sit quietly. But the other thing is, Matt is here. Are we going to be doing fishing and crocheting? Does actually going whale watching on a private tour on the Zodiacs?
I'm not putting out no hook.
You know what? This is an opportunity to put Gordon on the end of a pole. Yes.
Just call him Jonah.
we better give him a flashlight. Hello. And
Michael MDL his recharge moments takes a few weeks. Sometimes.
Gordon is just wondering where the pole is gonna go. You're gonna hang from the pole, Gordon.
He's taking you fishing when we go.
I know. Yeah. Come and get my little worm. It happens to be named Gordon. But I think that's going to be fun. And so I wouldn't say there's fishing, but we'll be looking at some. I've never done the whale watching out here, so this is new for me.
I am shocked you haven't done that.
Oh, because I work all the time, Karen, because I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Well,
Well, Gordon, what are you going to catch? I hope we don't catch the damn crabs.
so jeez.
I'm sorry, Karen. I'm sorry. I gotta. Okay, this is adult rated. If you catch crabs, Gordon, you're on your own. Just so you know.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
I know. I am so super stoked to invite the crocheters to come and kind of get a glimpse of our life, because we've never ever done that.
Yeah, I'm so
Like,
glad you finally
yeah,
caved.
yeah. So yeah, so Gordon's willing to share his crafts. I think I'll pass
we're
on
good.
that.
Oh no, now we're dangling in the wind over here. Oh no.
And Michael at MDL is like, how do I get in on that?
We will take lots of pictures, Mary. I just see that. One of the things that's going to be really quite interesting on the Crochet Crowd, because you know that we're going to social media the entire time.
Yes, of course.
And because we're running the trip again in August, they're going to have like a little sneak peek. We're going to have to like keep something a little or change it up for them too. But.
Yeah, we're going to have to. We got some ideas for Gordon. I'm thinking of Minions, Karen. We should get a little fly swatter. You know, where the Minions, where they said he goes to hit the bear or something, and the Minion gives him, instead of the baseball bat, the Minion gives him the fly swatter. It just says pinata, and basically.
Oh no.
We'll hang up Gordon, and we'll say pinata time. Let's make this bitch scream.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Oh my god.
Think you can crochet a string long enough and
yeah. So I think it's going to be a good time. And you know, I was thinking a lot today, because the tent sale in Spin Right Factory outlet in Listowel is finishing up this year. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about all these events that we've done. Like, if it wasn't for the tent sale, I don't think I'd be sitting in my seat today, because I literally showed up and, hey, I'm Mikey, blah, blah. But the actual manager knew who I was, even at that really tiny like seat I was. Mm-hmm. And she said, hey, why don't you come in and teach for an afternoon? And she goes, by the way, we do this tent sale. And I'm like, what the hell's a tent sale? And so I ended up becoming a fixture at this tent sale. I just volunteered. I was just so high on the fumes of just giving them a shopping bag. Here, take 2. You're going to need it. You can come back and
do you remember me. I went and visited you there once? I
don't recall that. There was so many women. But
it was me.
And the men all stay in the damn car. But anyway, and then they're like, oh my God. But anyway, it's kind of like an era that's kind of been gone, with the tent sale kind of finishing up, and really the memories of the outrageous humor of people, you know, in the tent sale. I only saw one fight in the whole time I was there.
But there was a fight
at a yarn sale. It was so ridiculous, Karen. There was 3 women. You buy 3 packages and you get 1 package free, and they were fighting on who was going to get the free one. But if they were thinking, there was 3 balls in the package, so if each one gets 3 balls, they could have just taken the 4th package and put 1 ball here, 1 here, and 1 here. And instead, they had a full-on fight. And I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, it's a free package. Who cares? Anyway, I'm like, oh my God. I thought they were kidding at first. And I'm like, oh God, this is serious stuff. You know.
That is fine. Hold on 1 second. Do you see this one?
Shannon Joe, the gal from the liquor store. Shannon. She's our mistress. Is she our liquor mistress? From there? Is she from there? Oh, she's our, okay. So what's her name again? Shannon. Shannon. Well, I didn't know your name, Shannon, but I actually just saw Shannon at Tim Hortons. We kind of went in together, and you know what, Karen?
What?
We're online mobile sisters.
Oh. Manager Melissa is probably thankful that
Oh
you
my
don't have to
God.
complain anymore.
Oh, I know.
Not
Well,
have
it
a
opened up.
mobile
The
app.
mobile's been closed for 2 days at my Timmy's.
Okay, so for those who don't understand what you're talking about, the Tim Hortons here has a mobile app on your phone that you can order and then go pick it up in advance, and it'll already be ready for you. And that's how Michael gets his tea. Michael orders it online and then goes and picks it up and walks past all the sorry people who standing in line waiting for their stuff because his stuff's already ready. And yeah, that's what he did. So yeah, so he's happy about that. So we
Shannon is a great person. Actually, I like her personality there. Actually, we were there and somebody was like shoplifting right in front of me there.
Did you tell
I know. Yes, I did.
There you go.
Yeah, she's got a phone. She knows how to use it. But I'm like, I couldn't believe that it was so brazen like that. I was like, because, you know, I've come from the generation where you just don't do that, you know? And so to see that, and I'm like, I don't
your generation, which is my generation, not doing that. It's just, you just don't do that.
Okay. I did shoplift once. I think it was bootlegger. They were so mean to me at the cash register. I stole the plastic bracelet that was $1.99.
I was going to say, the only thing I took ever in my life, I'm going to tell you a story in 1 sec after I say, we are not going to shoplift at this lady's booth. So we don't
shoplift. No, she gets into our purse. So Winnie and Woody Wood is actually critter addiction. And I don't think I have any of their stuff down here.
No, they're upstairs. You don't
they're
have
all upstairs.
You've showed this stuff before.
Yeah. And anyway, she's brilliant with her thing. So she's actually hosting a huge party. Did you see how many vendors she has?
Canada Day. I will be there.
You're going to go there?
Yes, of course.
Oh, then I'll go with you. But anyway, the amount of vendors that are going in there. So she's a fabulous person to be able to find that out. So
yeah. So I want to tell you my shoplifting story. I'd like you to picture it. 10-year-old Karen.
Oh, Christ.
At the local Sears.
Sears? Sears. What in the hell are you shoplifting at Sears?
I was 10 years old and I used to play, like, pretend all the time. And I used to be, are you ready for this? Like, my life wasn't foreshadowing. I used to pretend I was a store.
Sorry, you cut it what? A store what?
And I had a cash register in my said store. I used to play pretend I was a store owner. So for those of you who didn't know, I had a store for about 10 years. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. So I was 10 years old. No wonder Sears went out of business. Stop it, Gordon. And I went over and I was in the wallet section. And you know, when you bought wallets, you have all of those little fake credit cards and whatever else. So I had all the Play money, but I didn't have Play credit cards. So I thought, oh, I'm going to take a credit card out of the wallet. I didn't take the wallet. I took the credit cards. And I know it's because I knew stealing was wrong, but it was just a piece of paper inside the thing. Well, my father.
Oh, well, that's just paper.
Now, wait, my father happened to catch me. My dad was a cop. And my dad took me by the ear and took me to the security place, and he went all in. He says, okay, I'm really sorry to have to inform you that I've caught a shoplifter here. You know, this is my daughter and blah, blah, blah. And the security guy is probably 22 years old. I don't know. He was probably a young thing going, what the hell? Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to take her in and we will process her and make sure that this, whatever else. And the guy's like, okay. He says, so I really want you to make sure that, you know, you tell her exactly what it is. Then my dad literally put me in the back seat of the car, which, you know, we did anyway. And then took me to the local precinct and put me in freaking holding.
Well, he's all in.
He was all in. This is what happens when you steal something and you break the law. You go to jail.
Nobody God, you're getting Gordon all excited there. Oh, that is crazy stuff.
And after that, I touched nothing ever again in a store. Trauma moment, yes. But hey, it was a good lesson. And my dad, bless his heart, he was an interesting guy. But yeah. So yeah, Karen does not take anything, even even cardboard credit cards.
Actually, my sister ended up going to the clink, I think twice, for stealing. My parents had no issues with just grabbing her and just taking her to the police station.
And yeah.
And you know what? It really didn't help her. Let me tell you.
Well, I can't believe I just shared that little piece of information, but hey, it's true. Hey, it cured me.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think sometimes you need that. You need somebody other than a parent, I think, sometimes to set you straight on something.
Yeah.
You know, because it's kind of, yeah. Mind you, I got trouble because I don't even remember this, but I was putting bees up, like those bees up girls' dresses in grade 1. And I don't even remember this. Like, and anyway, apparently the girl's name was Kelly, and she had a bobby haircut with the stupid little shoes. And anyway, this Kelly's mother shows up at my house at lunch break. And anyway, grabs me by the neck and gives me what for putting bees up her dress. Don't bees have their own little wings? Like, they don't want to go up there either. And I don't even remember doing it. And it's like, and so anyway, this mother forced me to be Kelly's best friend. And you know what? I was very anti-Kelly after that, let me tell you. You know, and it's one of those girls that wear those little black little shoes. You remember those stupid little shoes? They look like Mary Jane's, and they wear the white.
Mary Jane's.
They wear the white nylons or the white tights with it.
Hey, I resemble that.
Yeah.
That's what I wore when my mother dressed me.
I know. So I had to be this girl's best friend, and I'm like, I don't even like this girl. It doesn't even make any sense. So anyway, so yeah. So, but sometimes you need intervention like that of like a third party, and then the parent just stands back and lets you get in shit. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah.
So I heard from our guest.
Oh,
hold on. I'm just going to send out an email. Okay. So I take it away. You're on your own.
Okay, so yeah, so I have no idea what I'm doing right now. So let's just go through. So I think, you know, you require that intervention of a third party to be able to do that. I actually had a kid that lived 2 doors down from me when I was really young, and his mother used to full on slap this kid's face when he was out of alignment, and he wasn't allowed to pass a line in the sidewalk to my house. He wasn't allowed, and the mother said to me, if he passes the line, to let her know. And he passed the line. He stepped over by a foot, and I was such an asshole. And I said, I got to go tell your mother, because I was a little goody two shoes. And this kid was dragging off me, holding onto my legs, as I was not to tell his mother. And unfortunately, I kicked him loose, and I got to the doorstep. I knocked on the door, said he passed the line. And I tell you, there's not too many things I regret in life, but this kid literally had the shit beaten out of him because I had opened my mouth because he stepped over a foot over the line. And I remember he was in our house. He didn't come back in time. The mother showed up and just did a full-on slap across the face to this kid in our front foyer of our house. And I was just so taken back by that. And my mother turned to me and says, if you ever get out of line, he says, I have no issues with doing that with you. And it scares the hell out of you, because this poor kid, I wonder whatever happened to the kid, but it was just horrible. So it's kind of like discipline is like way over the top with that kind of stuff. So there's some things that I regret in life, and Karen is back with us now.
Yeah, I am back. Okay. So I guess our guest didn't see the connection, whatever. And we had a delay. She did send me an email, but I didn't get it till just now. So.
Oh, okay.
Anywho, if she can, I'm sure she will log in and have a little bit. But anyway,
it's still light. It's still light here. It's
still light. Yeah, but it's not. But the sun isn't going through the trees anymore, so I'm not like getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You no longer have the hamburger lights over your head.
Yes, I no longer have that.
So when did you think that you actually found your creative edge? Did you always know you were always creative? Like, is that something that was just part of who you are?
It was part of who I am, and nobody understands why, because nobody else in my family was. I shouldn't say that. My Nana did some crafty things she was an auxiliary in a hospital in Ottawa. And she used to do, she crocheted and knit and did all kinds of crafts too. But just, just for something to do. And for the auxiliary, she loved volunteering for the hospital auxiliary. She's the one that actually tried to teach me how to crochet, but I was so young. But crafty, my gosh, always. I always painted. I always had something in my hand making something. But yeah, always. But with my ADHD, which I didn't know that's what it was at the time, like I jumped around from craft to craft to craft to craft, which is why like, what's Karen doing? Because honestly, it could be anything. It could be in the yarn arts, but it could, I love my paint, and I used to do paper stuff and all kinds. So it is what it is. So anyway, guess who's here?
Oh, we finally have our guest. Perfect. Okay. He, she, they.
Hi, Leona.
Hey, Leona. How are you?
Hey, everybody. Sorry, I didn't get the link, and then all of a sudden I got it. I said, let me connect.
Yeah, no, I did send it earlier today, but I didn't get your email saying you didn't until like 2 minutes ago. So I don't know what happened there.
You replied back, and I got it. So I said, thank you. That's fabulous.
Well, we were entertaining everyone, Leona. It's all good.
Yes. We were starting to go into levels we probably shouldn't be discussing anyway.
But now that we all know that I've had a stint in the clink.
So welcome, Leona, to Loose Ends. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And
thank you for having me.
We already have some of your stuff loaded up. What is your story?
What is my story? I started crocheting about 15 years ago. It started as a little coffee group at a Starbucks, and we used to hang out, and one lady was always there crocheting, and then another lady joined, and then I said, hey, this looks like fun. Let me join in too. And from that point on, I fell in love with it. I started taking off and doing, I call them difficult projects. I like some of the things that really challenge me along the way. So it's a lot of fun. And I call it my weight loss help because you're not putting food in your mouth while you're crocheting. And it's a stress reliever. I work a very high pressure job. So when I come home at night, I love sitting here. Matter of fact, my crochet is right next to me here. And I love sitting here doing crocheting. So
wow.
That's pretty much it.
So it's a stress reliever. So it sounds like you like a bit of challenge, but you don't necessarily want to be challenged the whole time. Like you want to think a little bit, but you don't necessarily want it 100% of the time.
Oh, I don't mind 100% all the time. I'll be honest. I really don't. I like getting into things, and I don't want to just do something and then stop, and then I don't like the mundane afterwards. So I want to keep it going.
Yeah, and I don't like doing projects more than once. So, and unfortunately, because I'm a designer, so I have to usually do the design 4 times, and by the 4th time, I'm usually then have to do the videotaping, and I'm like, oh my god, if I have to do another one of these things, I ain't gonna shoot myself, just because I get bored.
Yeah, I think you saw from my pictures that some of your designs I have done multiple times.
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, we waited for you, Leona.
Okay, sorry. The study of Christmas cookies I've done several times.
Really?
And then I also did it in thread afterwards as well. So, and I did that several times as gifts. So, in fact, I think she's trying to get to one of them. I love working with threads too. So
what is it about the thread that is attracting you? Obviously, your hands can handle that.
I like working with the smaller threads. I just think it's fun. I think it adds to the challenge because sometimes you're doing things like when you start getting into your triple crochets and your back posts and all this other stuff, it gets a little bit more complicated. That's a simple one that I did for Halloween. Actually, I did that one on a plane and I made like 7 of them and gave them away as I was traveling on Halloween.
Shut up. Yeah, is that pattern on your inspirations? I think I've seen that.
I think it is on your inspirations, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Your inspirations, Etsy, all those different areas. I jump all over the place. So
yeah. So what made you want to do that? Like versus another type? Were you just going for seasonal or?
That one was typically for seasonal. It was the holidays. I was doing a lot Halloween. It's also my birthday month, so I was doing a lot of traveling. So I always like to bring a little something, a little part of me with me, and to my friends. These are some holiday things I did over the years. The bunnies were actually my center part of my centerpieces on my Easter table, and so I made white chocolate and dark chocolate, and everybody loved them. They just flipped out, and you can see there's a dozen of them because we had 12 people here for dinner that day. So everybody got a bunny. And then for my grandson, he's into Star Wars, and the ice pop. So I made him the ice pop holder because he always says his hands get too cold. So just do a simple one, how to do it all. And my other grandson got the Halloween scarf. So
that's you know what? That's so ridiculously fun. I'm just obsessed. Like that's like you're going to a level on crochet that just makes you like it just warms your heart just to look at it.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Yeah. I enjoy it. It's just fun to do. And I'll add other medium to it. Like I added the roses to the bunnies and stuff because you just can't get that everywhere. So
no. And that's a keeper. Like that's one thing that it doesn't end up in a garage that way. Hope not. But you know, it's something that you can treasure like year after year after year.
Yeah. And this year I actually made the study of Christmas cookies in threads for my friends for their holidays, and we made them into table pieces. And so like I have a gray one sitting on my dining room table right now. I've made like ombre ones with special thread. It was all continuous, but it was great. It was so much fun to do, and it took a while. I'm not going to say it didn't. It took a while.
So what was it about the pattern that made you want to do it more than once?
Well, the first one, when you introduced Study of Christmas Cookies, my daughter's mother-in-law is a cookie maker. She makes cookies. She sells them. This is her hobby. She makes phenomenal cookies. This was my first one. And she makes phenomenal cookies. And I immediately thought of Marcia, and I said, I have to make this. And you actually had the ad where it popped out of a tin.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to get the tin, too, because she always sends her cookies in a tin. So I searched for a tin big enough to do it, and I sent that to her for Christmas. Then this one's not a study of Christmas cookies. This is a different one. But then I made another one because my daughter fell in love with it. So I had to make another one. And then the last one I made of the yarn was during Hurricane Milton. And it was the first time then that I ever named one of my blankets. I actually did Milton by a headlight flashlight and did that during the hurricane. This is the next one. There's one more that's browns and beige. I did this by flashlight, and my son was actually traveling. He has the generator. I had no power for 3 days. He was gifted this at Christmas because he brought power to the world. But I did the entire blanket by a headlight flashlight. And I just love doing them. I just love the change of color. I thought it really looked nice. And I said, what a great inspiration this would be to make for a table with threads. And that's what I did.
Wow.
Wow. It was fun.
I actually really like designing in the round circles. I never realized how much I love it, but the mathematical calculations to make that happen, people continue to always ask me. I have another one that's coming up. I decided to do Bavarian. You might actually like something like this.
I saw that preview, and I can't wait to try that. That's amazing.
I'm an idiot, just so you know. So Karen, blow me up. So
there's
so
Milton.
This here. Oh, that was Milton. We'll come back to
Milton in a second.
But my God, to figure out and to make this thing sit down,
that is like magnificent. I love it.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, Leona. I think I might convert it to something else, like keep the center and just go at it because, you know, originally in the center, it is Bavarian, but then as you get further out, it just gets more and more complicated, but it actually looks almost cathedral-like. And I think if you hit it with the right color,
yes,
I think it'd be awesome.
It would be magnificent. I love it. Absolutely love it. I envy your ability to do that. I was actually a math major in college, and I still can't do that. But this is Milton. This was done during the hurricane. And my son, matter of fact, I didn't have a picture of it. And when you wanted pictures, I called my son. I said, take Milton, put him on the ground, take a picture. And that's what he did for me. So
you know what that kind of, and maybe I'm overthinking it, Leona, but just the color choice to me, like when I think hurricane, I think dirty, I think wild, I think, the water, like it seems like you nailed the essence of a hurricane all within a circle.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. This one was the first one I ever named. And then it became This is Milton. And, we all talk about him because that was the one. This is the first one I did with thread.
Wow.
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 And that was all solid. And then I have an ombre one, I think, in there as well. That I went to.
Yeah, she's got a lot of photos. But what's kind of funny is like, so when I design something like this, Leona, is that people will say, well, what does it look like solid color? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because you can only have so much time. For example, I'm designing right now for I Like Crochet magazine right behind me. And literally, I started this 3 days ago. I have to be done tomorrow to hit my timeline. And it's like, goodness. there's not a lot of time to keep making samples so that you can appease to people what doing. Oh my God, did you do a transitional yarn for that?
Yes, I did a transitional yarn for that one. Yes. Isn't that cool? I just
yes. It's like a nucleus of something. Wow, you have a really good eye for coloring.
Thank you. It's fun. I get a lot of pleasure out of it. So,
So what's been your favorite thing to crochet? So it seems like you're crocheting for other people.
It
seems like you're using it as your own personal therapy. What's your most favorite thing to do then?
I have actually done a couple of crochet blankets for charities. I'm very involved in the theater. I do a lot of on stage, off stage in the theater. And we always do fundraisers of different sorts. I did one blanket that we raffled off. It was Beauty and the Beast, and I did a Beauty and the Beast blanket, and we raffled it off and made some considerable money for our theater. I like things that inspire me. A couple of weeks ago was the anniversary of the Pulse shootings years ago.
That was a Florida nightclub, right?
It was in Orlando. And that night, what inspired me, I needed to make a rainbow blanket. And so I made a rainbow blanket, and then I donated that. So I like doing things that you can donate and you can pass off to other organizations and such. That to me is good. It's the good in the world. I love trying new things. I do love the small thread work. I love doing blankets. I haven't gotten too much into clothes yet, but I am making my first shawl. I'm making a shawl, so we'll see how that goes. And, but I'm not really into the clothes. So,
Yeah, I'm really not either. Honestly, I would be popular if I was to teach clothing. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it just doesn't get me, and I don't really want to play with that.
It doesn't give me that dopamine hit. So it seems to me, Leona, like based on your quick story as you've been sharing, is like you were really attentive to other people's needs.
I love it. I work for an organization that's a nonprofit, and that is, that's one of the reasons why I love being there. I actually started for the organization as a member of the board, and I loved it so much I wanted to be an employee. And so now I work for an organization, and we are a nonprofit, and I love what I do. And, it was really funny because we're moving to different offices right now, and I'm in facilities and construction. So I've been doing a big move this week to a new office. So it's been crazy this week, just getting that all done. But guess what? I got my stress reliever when I get home, and it's just really cool.
So give me, okay, so it sounds like you're an executive, or you're kind of in that level of your brain. Tell our viewers, if you were to convince somebody to be part of something, to be part of charity, what are those magic words to inspire somebody to start the light up in their brain to do it?
Think of your why. Always think of your why. And be passionate about it. If you're really passionate about the organization, you will have a passionate why. And I'll give you a great example. Where I work for an organization that supports those impacted by HIV, STDs. We provide education, healthcare, dental care, you name it, for people that are crippled by that disease and other STDs. And that became my why. I'm a straight person, but it became my why because I had many, many friends that were impacted and affiliated with this. And it became my why and my reason for joining. And it's still my why today. and not all have made it. Some have gone further. Some have, some have gotten through it, are now testing at 0, no undetectable, which is fabulous. But I don't give up that why, because there's so many people out there that aren't yet right now. So
no, I really haven't shared this yet, but we have a brand new website that is currently in development that will be launched by Christmas. And what you just said is that, so I presented it to Your Inspirations actually a few weeks back. And so we have a new company name for this. We're still going to have the Crochet Crowd. We'll still have everything we're doing, but we're going to have the secondary. And I said, I want the new website to answer the why. Why do you crochet?
Yes.
And I think I was saying to them, I've been in this business for 17 years. Why am I still here? Like, why am I still teaching? Why do people come into crochet? What makes them start? And I said, I want to answer that. So whether it's from a therapy point of view or just connection with other people, why are you here in crocheting? So, wow, blowing my mind.
Let me know what that is. I would love to be part of that. It just sounds wonderful.
It's going to be called Everyday Stitch.
Okay, awesome.
And so because I want to be that person to include somebody in a new hobby without ever being elite. And why are we here? Because we're here because we're using it as a coping mechanism to get through one point to another. And whether that's donating to charity and helping others, that's why we are here.
Yes, exactly. I've been looking at some other organizations moving forward, Bridges Cradles, things like that. I would love to start doing some work for them. As I move forward in my yarn journey. One of the nice things when I bought my townhome, one of my dream things was to have my own craft room. And
living dangerously.
I was able to do that, and it is the craft room. Right now, I couldn't even show you a picture of it because it is the craft hole, because there's so much in there.
Oh my God, that's a new part of a website, the craft hole.
But there's so much stuff in there. There's so many different things going on in there right now. So, but I love that room, and it's the room for me to just go and sit and hang out. And everybody's like, don't you like turn the TV on? I say, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but most of the time it's noise. That's what it is for me. It's just extra
background.
Noise. Yeah. Background. And I can sit and crochet without noise too. It's just fine for me. So I did it at Starbucks for so long.
Oh, that's kind of true. That's kind of true. Leona, I'm just going to say, you're fucking inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
I am just so amazed that you literally you asked the question of why. Like, that's just so amazing to me. Your outreach and the way that you're connecting with others is just so astounding.
Oh, thank you so much. You are very inspiring too. And I will tell you that because I love doing your work. And there's probably some other pictures of your work that I've done as well. But I just love doing your projects. And sometimes I'll make 1, sometimes I'll make 2, sometimes I'll make 4, depending on who they're for and what they're for. And I'll pass them on, but I don't have pictures of everything, because if I did, I pulled together what I could find real quick. But but it's just a wonderful thing, and thank you for all that you do, because I don't think people realize the time and effort you put into it all, because it's not just, I'll just whip up another blanket.
I think I'm partially psychotic. I posted a video earlier this week of me starting this blanket behind me. I was a mess. I was actually crying.
Is that the video that you were talking about, your deadline, your self-imposed deadline?
I had 4 days. I have 4 days to do it. And honestly, I didn't know what to do. And so because I have ADHD, I could not settle my brain to get started. And I don't have time to delay, because this thing has to be done, photographable, tested, and everything, and submitted to the company within a time frame. And because I'm going to probably have carpal tunnel surgery, my timeline is being reduced. Yes. And I just started flipping out. I'm running out of time, and I just so hard on myself. I'm the worst. I'm my worst own person, just so you know.
Yeah. I actually had something on my elbow that was giving me pain. And my doctor said to me, well, what do you do with your hands? And I said, well, I crochet. He goes, do you golf? Do you play tennis? I said, no. He goes, well, you have crochet elbow. And I started laughing. I said, well, what's the cure? He goes, stop crocheting. I said, forget about it. I'll live.
Oh, fuck. That's what I said. I went into my doctor in December, and I said, if you dare tell me that I'm not going to crochet ever again, I said,
We're going to go
I
get
said,
another doctor.
this will be the last lollipop you're ever giving me because I'm going to find somebody else.
It's true.
It's not an option. And, even if I can't crochet, I still want to be part of it. I
Yeah,
still want to be people's journey. Like
absolutely.
I coined the idea of a crochet journey years ago, and it is the most profound thing. I did that when I was doing my book. It's like, what am I on? I'm on this
It was in your
journey to
book.
keep.
Yes.
Yeah, I just keep
I
on
have your
learning.
book. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, and it's a journey because one thing goes to another, and you just don't know where it's going to go. And I think that's so exciting.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And that's why everything that you start, you do get ideas for more. And I know you probably get them all the time. How you can keep track of them all. You probably have a big book that you just write ideas down.
No,
I do. I have a book that I write ideas down.
Honestly, my
Not that
desk is full of
organized.
paperwork. I'm not.
But
I'm not.
he's in good company because, yeah, no.
Okay.
Do you know how
Yeah,
many screenshots for later I've done? Do you know
Oh my
how
God.
many? I'm gonna
I
email
actually
me
do. That's
this.
one of my pet peeves. I am very organized. I was living by my planner, but then I did finally found an app that I really liked to live by on my iPad. So now everything is on my iPad, but I put everything down if it's on paper or not.
Yeah.
One or another, I put something down so I know what I want to do. The worst thing though is if I start a project and I put it up in the craft room and I don't leave the hook there, I sit there and go, now what hook was I using with this?
I
don't
know. I
remember.
have done the same damn thing.
Isn't that why we all have multiple hooks, though? Just
Yes,
to leave it
I
in?
have so many hooks.
Yes.
I have pet peeve hooks too, and there's certain ones that I will not crochet with anymore because I found others. So,
Yeah. I actually had to learn to let go of the hooks that I know I'm not going to use because I was like this ergonomic one before, but as soon as I got the toothbrush style,
I
that
love
have,
those. That's my favorite hook.
I know I can't go to anything else. I
Me
just
either.
can't. It's
That's
just
my favorite hook.
Leona. I like a good long hook. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know
Here
what?
we go again.
Remember the blanket that you did where you were doing the Tunisian hooks?
Yes.
That one. I had to go get a long hook because I could not do it with the short hooks. And I
Yeah.
bought an entire set of these long hooks. Haven't
Mm-hmm.
done it since then, but I have them. So if I ever decide to do that blanket again, I can. But it was the best thing ever. It really was. And I see your comment about crochet journals. Absolutely. They're great. Journal everything.
I used to do that, and then I take a lot of notes. Like, oh my God, I see an idea, and then I'm just forever writing stuff down, and it's like, but then I end up with this whole pile of stuff that I don't understand later. But but what I do, like some of my designs have never seen the light of day. But one of the things that I'm doing differently this time is that because we have the Journey membership on YouTube, is that I've been sharing the designs as I've been going. So even if it doesn't see the light of day, the Journey members can actually be part of something and maybe have a sample of something that will never see the light of day.
Can I ask a question? Because
Sure.
I just heard about that on your last podcast. What can you advertise for yourself right now so I can know where to go to? Because I'm not.
So we have a YouTube membership that we started about 2.5 years ago. I got the idea from Spotify. And the idea is that at the 2.5 years ago, when there's an American election, people like me go under the bus really hard for people looking to attack somebody. So I was telling Daniel, I said, I need a safe spot that I can retreat to where I can share myself and my designs without a lot of hard times. And so I decided to create the Journey membership to allow people to pay for a monthly subscription. I think it's like, what is it, $6.99 US.
Okay.
And literally those people are all in. So I can update as many patterns as I need. They get advanced video tutorials. Anything that I'm working on, this membership gets it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I thought when I developed it, there's some people that charge up to $100 for the membership a month. I just wanted $6.99.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, let's not overprice this. And it's a cost of 2 patterns a month.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I really enjoy the Journey members. So they actually get access to the stuff, the stitch alongs and everything in advance. They may not always get the tutorials, but they get the actual process. So the Journey members are helping in real time to create this.
That's awesome.
And it's great when you have it's great when you have many minds working at the same time. I think it would be better if you said it this way. And it's those small little things that'll make a pattern better.
Absolutely.
And so anyway, it's been 2.5 years of that, and it's a monthly membership, so you can cancel at any time. And I feel like it's of value. And they're also getting first notifications for any events that we do.
Okay.
So
Karen,
so that's
can you send the link to that to me? Email it to me.
Yeah, so I do appreciate if you're going to consider that. So I don't hit that membership too hard of advertising, because I want it to be organic. Because if you force something to be something, it just doesn't work out. So it's not a lot of members, but it's not about the volume; it's about the quality of the membership.
Absolutely.
And I really enjoy those people as well.
Yeah. I have a passion for. Most women do. I have a passion for buying clothes. I love clothes. I mean, I'm all there. And I'm actually in a private group about clothes that we do the same thing, and we get first access to some of the things they do too. And you know what? It's something that you really have a passion for. You do it, and I like it. So that's how I go about doing it.
I think Wendy is online. Maybe she can put it in the chat as well.
I think she already did.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There's a link there for that. I just think it's important that I can see beside somebody's name that they're a member. They have a special emoji beside their name, and everybody can see this. And so I tend to, don't tell anybody, Leona, but I tend to see if they're asking for something and I happen to notice it, and then I notice that emoji, I know that they're more in tune for the creativity with our channel. So I'm most likely to do something or take a suggestion a little stronger than I would somebody I don't recognize.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. So
well, you'll probably see a new member very soon.
Oh, yeah. I do sincerely appreciate that, because it just 2.5 years ago, it was so rough online. It just I don't know if you ever see that, because based on what you're volunteering for, but it seems like a cycle of the U.S. election just causes this to happen.
Every cycle of the elections causes.
It does, and I don't understand it. I do get it, but I don't.
I promised Karen I wouldn't get political. So
as I'm sitting here going,
I know.
Yeah, I know. But I have to say, like, in all respect, it's really difficult when you become a target. And
I know.
Really, and it's just really sad. It's just such a sad world. So we try to keep it positive and and that's the nice thing about the yarn, is that it doesn't matter your lifestyle or where you live or anything like that. It just goes global, and I love it.
Absolutely, me too. It's just so much fun, and I just love doing it. And if I can do something good for someone with it all, I will.
There's some hearts for you, Michael.
There's some hearts. I made those at Valentine's Day this year, because I got at the dollar store, $1.25 store, I should say, the red yarn. And I said, I'm going to try the chenille yarn, because I never used it before. So I grabbed a bunch of them and made them. It's like, guess what? They became part of gifts, Did
you see the new kits that Yarn Inspirations is now
I
having?
just saw that. I did. I'm like,
what a great idea.
It is a great idea.
It is a great. Yes. So the whole amigurumi, to have like the 10 choices of the chenille yarn you're talking about, but then also the velvet yarn. I don't necessarily think, okay, I'm allowed to have my own opinion. Not so much of a blanket for the velvet yarn, but for the amigurumi stuff, the velvet was always so cool.
I did a pillow out of the velvet yarn years ago, and I didn't care for it. I didn't care working with amigurumi.
Yeah. Yes. How
but
fun
that's with regular yarn. That's just with good old Red Heart. So
well, those guys have seen better days. Let me tell you.
Yes, they have.
I love them, which is why they're there. But the other thing is too, there's other things. I love that you do a lot of different things for the holidays. I think you craft like me, right? You see something, I'm
gonna try it. I'll go do it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I'm hoping this is what I think it is. And the Irish ones. Oh, those pants were so cute.
Oh my! Shut the hell up, Leona. Those are ridiculous.
They're fabulous. We have gold charms inside them.
They're awesome. Like to create something like for a decor for fun, like the creativity and
everybody
just
tries to steal that every St. Patrick's Day. They come in my house and go, "Is this my year to take it home?" I was like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, no.
Look at your house is clean.
Yeah,
God
really.
damn.
You actually can see a little bit. One of the big things that I am a big thing about is zebras. I love zebras because nothing's as black and white as it seems. I'm actually pursuing the world record for the most zebra items. The current record's about 507 items. I have broken it already. I have well over 1,000.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
It's actually a world record. The only thing that's holding me back from officially getting it is I have to find a person in Florida who is a zoology expert that can come and count my zebras. And it ranges from anywhere from dishes to the little things you see on the bottom of this picture. I have a gorgeous zebra carousel horse that I was in a show called Carousel, go figure. And one of the horses was a regular horse, but the designer said to me, they raffled them off. He said, "You win that horse, I'll turn it into the zebra it was meant to be." So of course I won the horse, and he turned it into the most magnificent zebra you've ever seen in your life. And it rolls around my house just in case I want to move it to another location, like when the Christmas tree comes in and such. So, yeah, I have lots of zebras. It's zebradom here.
I just love that you have to have a zoologist to come in and say, "Yeah, that's a photo of a zebra."
That stuffed animal is a zebra. You know.
Well, Karen and I were going to go to the mall because they have the horses that you have to.
You're right.
them.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
I did threaten that. Yes.
I love that stuff. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of music, but that's the thing. Huh? See, I gotta collect something cool too. You know,
it's funny because I actually went to SeaWorld a couple of weeks ago with my son and my grandson, and we were watching the whale show. It's not Shamu anymore; it's called something else. But we're watching the whale show, and one of the people that was one of the trainers for the whale said, "Did you know that these cows are the zebras of the sea?" Well, my face just lit up, and my son's like, "Oh no!" He's like, "Mom, you're not going to start collecting shamus, are you?" I was like, No. We're going to keep it at the zebras." I said, "That's it."
Oh my god!
Maybe one killer whale.
Actually, I just watched a documentary in the history of SeaWorld actually a few days back. Did you know that Shamu, that the whale kept dying?
Yes, there were several shamus.
Yeah, they kept replacing it without telling anybody that's a new Shamu.
Yes, they don't call it Shamu anymore. It's just
I think that horse is ridden like 10 Shamus ago.
Many Shamus ago, yes, exactly.
But they didn't know how to keep the whales like safe and healthy.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's a heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. Sorry, don't watch it. Don't read it. Don't do it.
I don't support. Yeah.
I think it's 2025. I think when I was a kid, it was kind of a novelty but now you do have the opportunity to be able to travel a lot easier than we could, being younger, and to be able to see that, right?
Yeah.
When I saw killer whales in Alaska right beside the boat, and we were just out there, I flipped out because the dorsal fin was like straight on up.
Oh, sure.
And it's like because you don't see the floppy, old man syndrome dorsal, right?
The dorsal fin flops in captivity. It's not
in captivity. It
that's my point. And it was just so magnificent, and it was so tall. It was like an airplane fin.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's such a great sight. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I am so glad, Leona, that you got to join us tonight because
I was sorry I was late. I couldn't find the link.
I'm like, everybody heard the dings. I was watching the phone to see if I was going to get a message. Anyway, I was so happy when I did see that because I really wanted you to have the opportunity to speak to Michael and everybody.
Thank you so much. And Michael, thank you so much, both of you, for all that you do. This has been fabulous. I've had so much fun already.
But, just because you didn't have a full hour with you honestly were so inspiring tonight. Do what you need to do, Leona, and just keep spreading it.
Find your why.
That's the kind of infection that people need in their lives right now, is just finding the why. And it was so amazing.
Agreed. Totally agree
Yeah.
with you. Thank
Yeah.
you. We appreciate it.
Okay, so Karen, I think we got our Leona. We're gonna do an
We're gonna
ending.
do our
So
end scene.
you're gonna go like
Yes,
this.
I gotta go like this and
And
scene.
End
scene.
scene.